Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode. Today I want to go ahead and go over 3 tips that you can use if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling run down, if you're feeling like you just can't keep going. If you feel like a group of 5 people just took you and face planted you into a table. Whatever you're feeling right now. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling exhausted, here's 3 tips that I want you guys to keep in mind to help get you through these tough times that you're having in your life. Number 1 is concentrate on your breathing, and when I say breathing, I mean throughout your nose and throughout your mouth. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice or not, and my nose, I'm pretty sure that I have a deviated septum because I get consistent nosebleeds throughout this nostril. It's just one nostril, and it's always the same one, and so that's why I'm more of a mouth breather than I am both, and that's very common among people, especially if they're in martial arts, or if they're fighting, or if they're in the UFC and they're getting hit a lot. That's what tends to happen. But nonetheless, you want to make sure that you concentrate on breathing in. Inhale, exhale throughout your nose and throughout your mouth. And it just takes practice. For those of you guys that are mouth breathers like me, it takes a lot of work, and the more that you do it, the easier it becomes, and the more able you are, and the more able you are to be able to use your nose for breathing too. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you have to prioritize your fitness. And I don't mean just going out for a jog. I don't mean just doing cardio or going out on the Stairmaster. I mean going hard, weight training. Make sure that you're training with free weights, and then switch it over to machines. Make sure that you're doing high intensity training. Make sure that you're doing make sure that you're doing circuits, and make sure that you're limiting your time too. Now, if you're a professional bodybuilder and you're training for a competition, that's different. You need at least 2 or 3 hours a day in the gym at the bare minimum, so that you can get prepped up and so that you're ready to attack it when it comes time for you to compete. But make sure that you're training hard, and that you're training effectively, and that you're training properly, because what happens as you're training and as you're working out is that it helps enhance your blood circulation, because when you're sitting down at a desk all day, and maybe you're eating a lot, and maybe you're eating all the right stuff, but those 2 things can really create stoppage, and it can create it can induce like all these knots that keep your blood from circulating in the way that it needs to, in order for you to move freely, in order for you to be able to have more mobility, meaning that you're able to bend down and pick up, you drop something on the ground, you're able to pick it up without hurting your back, and you're able to just get in and out, whenever you need to. But that's what it does. It enhances blood circulation. It increases your endorphins, your dopamine levels, and you feel great, and you're ready to attack life. And it's just good overall. So make sure that you make training your priority, because it's very good for the endocrine system. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health, and your body's going to be able to fire on all cylinders. And when your body is able to fire on all cylinders, well, then you're able to become the best version of yourself that you can be. Now let's go ahead and move on to number 3, which is make sure that you are either talking to yourself or writing your thoughts down. Do not, and I repeat, do not internalize it. Don't keep it inside of you. Don't keep it in the membrane up here, because what happens is if you just keep it all in there, and maybe you have a short memory, and maybe you forget a lot. Maybe there's too many distractions around you, and so you can't really focus on your thoughts, right? But if you write it down, or you say them out loud. And when I say talk out loud, I mean talk out loud. Talk to yourself. Maybe make sure that you're not around a whole lot of people. If you need to, talk to yourself when you're driving, when you're in your car. I don't care if it's around your closest friends, but always make sure that you talk to yourself as much as you can, because if you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, well, then you're able to remember them. And that's honestly what helps me. And it's a shame that we as a society have made that a weird thing. And I think that needs to change. I think we need to normalize it more and more, because it's healthy. It's good to hear. It's good to hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, so that you can hear it, right? So that you can hear, and maybe they're positive thoughts and maybe they're negative thoughts, but nonetheless, you're able to face your own truth, right? Like, you're able to face the reality of where you're at, as far as like your mental health, as far as like your struggles, as far as your emotional health. So that's number 3. Make sure that you're talking to yourself. And look, if you have to scream, if you have to scream as loud as you can in your car, and you think that it would and you think that it would help you get whatever you need to off of your chest, go ahead and do it. Scream as loud as humanly possible, even if it's so loud that other people that are far away can hear you. But if you're not comfortable with that, well, then there's always the notebook option. When you're writing your thoughts down on a notebook, well, then it's there, and it's permanent. Once the ink is dry on the paper and your thoughts are there and you can revisit them, well, then now you're able to analyze. Now you're able to see where you're at, because again, we have short-term memories, and we forget that, and we forget sometimes that we're depressed, or that we're stressed out, or that we're anxious, or that we're going through something that's very, very unbearable. So so go ahead and write it down, save it, make sure that you store it in a place where you'll remember where you put it, and then you should be good to go from there. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it brought value. I hope it helped. And if it did, share it with your friends and your family. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Collectively Fearless. Follow me on Instagram at itsmatty_ice. And then, as always, I will talk to you guys again soon. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day.